Hey guys, what is going on? It is Gear End here, and in today's video we are going to be discussing, that's right, we are going to be doing another Fairy Tail vs Eden Zero comparison, where we are going to be comparing first episodes of both Eden Zero and Fairy Tail. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So let's of course compare Fairy Tail Episode 1, of course. If you've not seen my previous video, well, a brief summary of it is that, of course, Fairy Tail first episode was a very heartwarming episode, you would say. A lot had happened, of course, and it had a lot of comedy in it, a lot of course, little things, and let's just say it also had the epicness in there as well, being for the first episode. Because at the beginning, of course, Natsu had the funny moments where he was stuck on the train because he had motion sickness. Then, of course, they met Lucy. Then they had more funny moments. But then, at near the end, that is where the epicness came in. Because near the end, of course, that is when Natsu, of course, defeated the fake salamander. And, of course, saved Lucy from the ship. And, of course, since Lucy wanted to join Fairy Tail, Natsu dragged her along and, of course, joined Fairy Tail. But Eden Zero, of course, on the other hand, it is very different for story-wise, but sort of similar. Let me, of course, break it down. So, let's say, of course, for Eden Zero Episode 1, what happened was, of course, like I've reviewed, of course, in the previous video, we've, of course, seen Shiki for the first time ever. He, of course, is like the main character of the series. We've seen, of course, him have a lot of funny moments, of course, saying, of course, he wants to make a lot of friends. There was a lot of heartwarming moments, of course, in the first episode of Eden Zero. And of course we learned a lot more about Shiki in that first episode. But then of course it took a dark turn where of course the robots turned against them. They saying they were malfunctioning where they weren't, because they just wanted Shiki, of course, to go on in his venture, of course, and make friends, as the Demon King, who was Shiki's grandfather, of course, wanted him to do. So of course when Shiki, of course, was dragged by Rebecca, so in this case Fairy Tail Natsu was taking Lucy, Eden Zero Rebecca took Shiki onto the journey, of course, and that was like the start of both their journeys. So thinking about it that way, they are similar in that sort of concept, but again, the story wise are completely different, and it does bring a new fresh air, of course, when you see Eden Zero for the first time ever, because Eden Zero, being a brand new anime, of course, with a completely different concept to Fairy Tail, is quite refreshing to see. So let's of course go even further by breaking down the episode, of course. So let's talk about some of the similarities in the episode. Well, some of the similarity, of course, was how they met for the first time and the funny moments they had whilst they were talking to each other. That was sort of similar, of course, when Natsu and Happy were, of course, eating at the restaurant thanks to Lucy, of course. And then when they were, of course, being grateful for the food that Lucy paid for, that was a funny moment. And then, of course, when Shiki met Rebecca for the first time, saying that if she was human or not, and of course being at the bar and having funny moments there, that was also very heartwarming to see, of course, and very funny. But there is a lot of differences in the first episodes, because first of all, Happy in Fairy Tail is with Natsu, whereas Happy in Eden Zero is with Rebecca. So of course that sort of change where you can say the sidekick, I'd say. So the sidekick has changed from Natsu to Rebecca. So that was of course a difference. Another difference you could say is the power, because let's just say, even though it is similar that both Shiki and Natsu have the similar sort of power where it's ancient magic that really hasn't been seen for centuries. It's ancient magic, of course, so not many people can use it, or it is very rare to see. But in the, of course, story-wise, it is completely different, because I gotta admit, a Fire Dragon Slayer is very different to a Gravity Eater Gear user. Because a Fire Dragon Slayer has a lot of fire magic, of course, whereas a Gravity Eater user magic has a lot of gravity magic. So that is a very different, of course, from that sort of concept, but the sort of plotline the story was going for, and the sort of, let's just say, the similarities between the first episodes of both Eden Zero and Fairy Tail, you can see they are similar, but completely different given the concept. And I really admit, I loved the episode, of course, for Fairy Tail, and I even loved the first episode for Eden Zero, even though some people are saying that it's just a rip-off of Fairy Tail. I don't believe that, and it was a great first episode for Eden Zero. You guys let me know down below your thoughts and opinion on, of course, Eden Zero Episode 1 and Fairy Tail Episode 1. Which one do you think was better? Did you like them both equally? And if you did, let me know down below by leaving a comment. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop it a like, leave a comment. If you're watching this video and you are not yet subscribed, well, scroll down and hit that subscribe button and make sure to turn on the notifications so that you don't miss on any videos I upload in the near future. And of course, if you want to become a member, make sure to click that join button right next to the subscribe button, of course. And of course, you'll be becoming a member today. You don't need to become a member, of course. It's up to you, of course, if you want to become one. It will just help me, of course, support the channel even more with the content I do. But if you don't want to, that's fine. Subscribing is still equally the same amount. So if you want, just subscribe. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care and peace.